In this video we will show you how to correct Vastu energy misalignments, even if you cannot change your home or business setting. In other words, if you are stuck in a place, a business or home, with bad energy or Vastu, then this video will teach you how to correct it using the ancient form of Dravidian Ayyanist Vastu. For non-Hindus, Vastu in Sanskrit means building, and Vastu Shastra is the science of buildings, or how by placing elements of a building in certain areas one can balance energy, maximize positive energy, and minimize negative energy. In other words, traditional Hindu Vastu is the ancient Hindu science of architecture. It was said to have been taken to China by Indian monks thousands of years ago to form the basis of Feng Shui, which is more commonly known in the West. The science of Vastu is designed to balance the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, and reduce the imbalance on the body and the home by aligning it correctly. By placing elements in their wrong position, this can lead to physical, spiritual, and material imbalance. For example, a mirror placed in the wrong position in the house, or a doorway or entrance can misalign you, make you ill, and have other negative effects. Bad Vastu can also cause allergies from elemental air imbalance, reduce your finances from elemental water imbalance, and allow power imbalances by placing a child's room in the wrong position of the home. And there are countless other examples. If you imagine the energy in your home, if there are any misaligned parts, the energy can pull in certain areas and either dissipate or become rancid or stagnant in nature. This can affect your business, health, and relationships. Old objects, or clutter that is unused, can act as an energy weight to hold you back or block your future. Ancient underground wells, or energy lines, may affect the energy levels on the surface. Positions of windows may block the flow of energy. Directions of roofs and the floor layout may impact the physical via the spiritual flow of energy. This, of course, is the simple description. There are many books and volumes on traditional Vastu which one can find if one wishes to learn more. Ayyanist Vastu is different to traditional Hindu Vastu and the newer ideas such as Feng Shui. It is not really about light or space, or the flow of energy, or placing furniture at various points of the house. For example, adding a plant to the east, or having a clock at a certain place in a room. It has been found that the modern Hindu Vastu interpretations can only allow micro-energy transactions, which build up resonantly. The method we will teach you now is more ancient, and gives macro-energy transformations. Let us be clear. The traditional understanding of Vastu is good, and has its place, but it is just scraping the surface. It is micro changes to the macro environment, to affect the material and spiritual. However, these energy forms are microscopic and minuscule, and can become meaningless if you have the ability to control the actual flow of energy yourself, which is what the science of Dravidian Ayyanism can do for you. Traditional Vastu is important for people who cannot control the energy flow, and have to rely on the microscopic energy being amplified by resonant action, which can take time. Dravidian Ayyanists, however, can control energy via yantras, and we will show you how. But first, we will give a brief history lesson. The Dravidian science of Vastu is much more ancient, and is called Takopayan in Dravidian Ayyani. Takopayan. It was formed via the original yantras from Brahma, the Lord of Creation, which many Hindus have known from the origin story of Vastu. The science of Ayyanist Vastu was then taught again to humans 100,000 years ago by Murugan Ayyan, the transformed son of Shiva and Parvati. The original yantras were then honed and collected by the second guru of Ayyanism, Guru Dvivedi. These were then further honed and expanded until a holistic set of yantras were created that could bring tremendous benefits to the home, business, or any surroundings. Here is a brief background for non-Ayyanists. Yantras in Ayyanism are keys to open different dimensions, positive lokas, or negative talas, and others. When you open the dimension and are resonantly attuned to it and the energy, you can use that energy in our reality to change the spiritual, physical, and material. This is how you can heal yourself, dispel curses, gain material wealth, and find your incarnated love. In fact, you can do anything if you have the correct yantra, or a mixture of yantras, and are resonantly attuned to the dimensions you wish to use. However, in order to find the yantra that is resonant with the dimensional space it represents, one needs to master the science of astral projection. Ayyanists use these techniques to find dimensions. For example, positive or negative dimensions such as lokas or talas. and then are able to write the yantra that is resonant with that dimensional space. By opening up the dimension, one can control the energy flow from that region into our reality to affect the spiritual and physical. This again is a simple explanation. In Ayanism there are different forms of dimensional space, of which each has an infinite variety. As an aside, and to put it simply, there are many variations of dimensions or realms, not just positive or negative. There are dimensions that go from dark to light, from loud to soft, from solid to fluid, from large to small. All these myriad realms exist, and some, if not all of them, are a mixture of all traits, such as Atala Loka, that is both positive and negative, but also small, known as Atakayan, and fluidic, known as Aratayan, in nature. Many Ayanists also know Kadayat and Tayan realms, which can be loosely described as an area of order and time, repetition or beat, which is the basis of the very powerful Arkanalayan yantras. The yantras we will present now are the most important yantras to aid in Vastu for the home and business, and are an accumulation of thousands of years of research, study and practice. The first yantras directly control the flow of positive energy and dispelling of negative energy, and the accumulation of power in a home. This power energy is important to allow the heads of the household to control things harmoniously. If this power energy is distributed incorrectly, as in many households, it could be the children who rule the home and can cause friction in a family. In a business this can also mean that the head of a company does not control the operation and workers correctly, and other elements take control which can lead to disharmony. As you can see, if you are watching this as a video, is that the combined energy Vastu Yantra is made up of the three Lokatala solid yantras, flow, dispel, and power, and is called Payara-Ruvulavian Yantra. Pronounced Payara-Ruvulavian. Payara-Ruvulavian. The second yantra deals with more specific forms of elemental energy, and balances all 5 elements that are important in Vastu: air, water, fire, earth, and space. All 5 have to be in balance for harmony to be achieved. Even if the building you live or work in is in disharmony, the yantra will balance it out. This combined elemental Vastu yantra is called Mantaram Ninayan. Pronounced Mantaram Ninayan. Mantaram Ninayan. Note, if you are listening to this as a podcast, then you can get the yantras from the Patreon site or the Ayan World Foundation. How to use these yantras. To use these yantras, you simply place them around your house in each room. If you are uncomfortable with putting yantras in public areas of display, you may place them in a cupboard, or in a drawer, or under items such as a bed. Many Ayanists, in the past, did not advertise their beliefs as it was considered an egotistical act, so hid their yantras away. Traditional Ayanists, however, now place them up on the walls as either a painting, canvas or drapery. You can either print these yantras out, or ask the Ayan World Foundation to supply the yantras, or you can find them online. Patreon subscribers have access to Vastu yantras created by very high-level Ayanist masters. To become truly attuned to the yantra, you must draw them out until you have memorized them. If you draw the yantra out over and over, you will begin to memorize it, and this is the universe's way of showing that you are becoming more resonantly attuned to the yantra, and thus the dimensional space it opens. You can also chant the mantra of the yantra's name while you draw them. For example, chant Payara-Ruvulavian. Payara-Ruvulavian. When you draw the energy Vastu yantra, and Mantaram Ninayan. Mantaram Ninayan. When you draw the elemental Vastu yantra. Once you are attuned, you will be able to effectively balance your home and provide positive energy, and dispel negative energy at will, even if your home is Vastu misaligned. Vastu Ayanists take a lifetime to create, memorize and thus become resonantly attuned to these yantras, and the dimensional space. So any yantras created by a high Ayanist for a specific home or business is extremely effective. Ayanist patrons have access to these powerful yantras created by a high Ayanist, and can have specific yantras for their home, if they require. So in summary, place the energy Vastu yantras and the elemental Vastu yantras around the home, to balance the elements and the energy. You can also follow traditional Vastu techniques, but having these powerful yantras around your home or business should suffice. To aid family relationships, please also use the Minayan home yantra. To dispel any curses on your property, one can also use the Takalvian yantra. There should be a word of warning. For many years this knowledge has been kept secret and hidden for a reason, as the yantras to control the flow and dispelling of energy can be very powerful, and if inverted can hinder rather than help. Placing an inverted yantra on a building can curse it and cause the flow of energy to be stalled or drained away on a macroscopic level. So do not do that. If you think this has happened to you, please contact the Aryan World Foundation at info@aryan.org. If you like this podcast, please subscribe or click the like button. Also do join the Aryan World Foundation for more information. Links are in the description.